Hello there. Real quickly, let's talk about the AI strategy at your business. So, if you go to an AI agency, somebody local to help you out and implement something at your business, getting your own data and getting AI into your workflow, getting that intelligence in places where there's friction, where there is a lot of repetitive action, or areas where you just need some insight, they'll generally offer you two things. One of them would be to fine tune an open source model on your data. They take all of your emails, all your text messages, employee manuals, any other information from the history of the business, and they will train a model on that. I would advise against doing this, paying for this. It's very hard to do this, and you have things where the model might lose some of that intelligence that it had built in, trained originally on a very, very large computer, and your local AI agency is using a smaller computer, less expertise. You're going to have to pay tens of thousands of dollars to train it for weeks. You're going to have to host that model. And by the end of it, 95% of these efforts don't work, because will your employees stop what they're doing and get into a conversation with a chatbot? And you know from experience dealing with ChatGPT that it really requires a lot of context. You might be 10 comments back and forth before you really get the insight that you wanted from the AI. So most of these fail, expensive to host, although that's one option. There's a better option, which also costs tens of thousands of dollars at minimum. That would be to apply agents, agentic workflows, enterprise AI, the kind of thing that is calling a remote model through an API, giving it some data, maybe giving it some tools, some chain of thought reasoning, and then taking action. And there are an infinite number of places for this to be implemented into the economy. And as someone said, even if it takes 10 years, just with the intelligence we have now, to implement that into workflows and getting new productivity out of that is something that can take years. Very, fruitful, worth doing, but very expensive. And also, like your fine-tuned model I spoke about before, going to be fairly difficult to get that running in a future-proof way, because we know that next year, or definitely in 3 years, 5 years, we're going to have something that blows away what we have now. So this is where I come in with what I'm offering you. WIN is an acronym. What's important now? So this is something that can take a screenshot, and also, either, if you like, can get your microphone and transcribe this locally. And it can also pick up the audio from whoever you're talking to over the Zoom call, over the phone system you have. And even if you have a iPhone or Android on Windows 11, you're able to connect these. And if you have a headset you can connect to your computer, then your microphone and that audio will be here. It'll be transcribed, and then what you will do in settings is set your own prompt in here for your business, things you might need. If you're in sales and you're not as technical, you let the model know that here, along with every transcript you're sending it. Mic is you, and system is the customer or person you're talking to or brainstorming with. So whatever they need to know about that conversation, about who you are, what else you need, and you can really fill this up. Do you know how long of a transcript you can put in here and how much prompting you can put in here? You could talk for 60 hours. You could put a epic novel of your life story in here and get the very tailored, like I was saying, about the fine-tuned model or the agentic workflows, which the local AI developers are using now. The point of that fine-tuning or having the agent in the workflow doing a chain of thought reasoning, point of that is context. Really, the object of the game to win with AI is to give it a lot of context. So it's getting a lot of context. What are you doing at your computer when you're talking to someone? What are you looking at? What is the data that you need to extract? And what could something that a very careful trained monkey could do that you can automate, or what special insight can you get? Really totally depends on your experimentation, what you need. I do have the Salesforce CRM integrated in here. Let me get both of these on screen. So connected there for contact. You also have the ability to create these different objects: event, opportunity, task, lead, and case. But sticking with the contact, we have this on screen here. This could be an email, and could also be from the voicemail, or just you on the phone with this other person, and could grab that from the transcript. But anyway, let's make sure our transcript is cleared, and take a screenshot there is enabled. And we're going to ask the AI, so it extracts this relevant information. Then we're going to send that off to Salesforce, this screen here, and then we're logged into our Salesforce, and let's see if it got that contact in there yet. So there's that contact created by their name, their email address, and yeah, so yeah, there it is, all of that information. And as you saw, you're able to, let me see, get these back up here again. You're able to review it before it sends it into your CRM. And if you want to create a lead after you've created this contact, you can send that lead. Let's do that. I don't think there would be a clash with this, but asking the AI, we have the budget in there this time, so maybe we could send this. Right, so it does prevent you from creating duplicates. It is somewhat intelligent. So that is what you want. You don't want your AI and your employees filling it up with duplicates. Maybe we have an event. Can we extract an event from this same information? There's the subject, end date, all day. Are we going to get any problem creating this? No, didn't look like it. So now we have our event object in Salesforce as well. So now you are able to, if we go over to the table view, see the event we created, and it's going to happen on October 10th, meeting with this person. And it didn't give you a name field when you're creating an event. You probably already know this about Salesforce if you have it, although maybe with this tool you might want it. Then you can go in later and connect it to an existing contact. So Salesforce really good, surprisingly well with getting data in there. Maybe that's why they're number one, but not only good at extracting data and sending it off, there's a whole multitude, an endless number of situations where you're going to be able to use this in technical situations in the future. Maybe you will have a new trade, a new certification you're going to be going after. Maybe you're going to be moving your career in sales from one industry to another, and wouldn't it be great to get a super intelligent AI assistant to help you and look at pictures of things like these from clients, or if you're in customer service. So turning off the Salesforce CRM, and we just have our general prompt in there, which is not specific to whatever is going on in this video, something to do with a printer. And we're going to ask it what it thinks the answer is to this situation. And if you can see at the end here, it says the answer is C, drum. So what does the video say the answer is? More pictures of the drum. And the answer was drum, and you'll find if you're pulling up any kind of instructional video on any kind of, how do I say everything about everything? This is what the AI knows, and this puts you closer to the intelligence. It's what's important now, as in the name, WIN, the acronym. So you don't have to take a screenshot and then find the screenshot and upload the screenshot and then type this way or type a paragraph of who you are and what you want to know about the situation. It already knows. You just define who you are and what you need, because you're generally going to be in the same role in your workplace. That's what the video here is about, what this tool is made for. Your kind of more long-term task, longer-term career, and you're going to enter all that information into here, and then it's going to give you the answers. So getting certifications, maybe what are the ethics of taking an online test with the help of this? That depends on you and your moral compass, but there's nothing stopping you from using this to get the certification, and then when you get the job that your employer saw you had the certification for, continue using this and get your expertise really rounded out, and continue delivering value to the customer, delivering value to the person who hired you with this system. And it's been quite a little bit of time walking through some of the features of this software. How is it priced? What am I going to do? Am I going to have you contact sales? No. What I'm going to do is just have it be a flat fee of $29 a month. If you find other, as we talked about, AI agencies, you're going to be spending tens of thousands of dollars to get AI integrated, and it's not going to be future-proof. For this, we're using Grok, which generally, for most people, for most things, the difference between this model, the models that Grok uses, and GPT-5, for most cases, nobody's going to notice. It has intelligence in here. It considered all of the answers, and it was able to extract the relevant information for the CRM and send that off to Salesforce. But unlike dealing with an AI agency or maybe even dealing with different versions of other AI software that might be out there, I will be using Grok models, and whatever the latest and greatest Grok model is, I will have it here. So something about AI, not only do you want to start using it as soon as possible, using it in the most intelligent way, but also you want it to be future proof. And this is definitely future proof. I will be putting the new model in there. So if you hear that Grok has a latest and greatest new open source model, which there will be more and more of, then you will see it in here, and you can check for an update in here, and that is your future proof durability of this product. And it is a flat fee, $29 for everyone. Whether you're an individual in school, in training, just someone who wants to boost your intelligence and productivity and value to your employer, then you can get that same fee for everybody else, $29 a month. So if you're going with ChatGPT, you're paying for that GPT-5 model, and you are not a PhD physicist or looking for new frontier math, this is probably enough for you. And is that extra, what do they charge, $20 or $25 to get this extra little bit of context of the microphone and the system audio, which you are able to, able to inspect. You can see the microphone testing, 1, 2, 3. You are able to open this transcript and get that tested out, open it again. There's a little bit of a delay, but it does update fairly frequently. So giving it that context always already for $29. If you are a business, I will not be charging higher prices, hundreds or thousands of dollars. I will not be referring you to a sales team of people when you ask how much it is and they respond with how much you got. No, it's the same $29. It is $29 per seat. So if you have this on one computer in the office and people are able to use it there on that one computer, small business, mom and pop, or if you have 10 or 100 that you want the system running on, each one of those individual machines will be its own $29. But there is a 7-day free trial, and you will need a Grok API key. And the other great thing about Grok, not only that it's very fast and has models that are just about as good as the Frontier, that it is also very cheap. Looking at my usage here, which I've been testing the bejesus out of this system, lots of requests, and it's only 8 cents. So unless you're really hitting this beyond what is humanly possible to query a model like this, you're going to be paying probably no more than $30-some per seat, which is much better. And I think, how could it not be better than building in all those agentic workflows into areas, which is going to be a struggle because the AI agency is not going to quite understand your workflow and the nuances and the exceptions like you understand the nuances and exceptions that arise in edge cases. So having the agent calling tools and doing things when there are certain exceptions you need to watch out for. On the other hand, you have this that is just giving you the information. It is connected to a CRM, and it is getting a lot of context, a lot of context. Let's open that debug file here again. This is your transcript. So when you do have your mic set up, not only seeing the levels, but seeing the quality of this. And like I said, if you're a student or intern, young, new guy at a company, this works on a laptop. This two models here. One is the Grok one we've been talking about, but this other model, the AI model that transcribes this, will run on a fairly recent but cheap laptop. By cheap, something in the range of about $400 or $500 for a good laptop, and it will run flawlessly just as it is on here. If you can see my GPU there in the background, it's running on, but it also runs on CPU. So yeah, long roundabout way of saying that it works on a laptop. And there's more, because it's not only that you're able to press these buttons and get some information. What if you have a large team and they are new at sales and you don't just want to supervise them? How many phone calls can you supervise? As they say, this call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance. How many humans are you going to have a one-to-one supervisor looking at every single, listening to all of the customer service and sales calls going on? Well, what you can do also is you are able to call these routes. What I mean, if you're not really technically inclined, these are also called API routes, which is just another way of hitting these buttons. Start record or stop record, ask the AI, clear the transcript, and then ways of getting the transcript cleared. So what you can do with this is, when you do contact that AI agency and you're ready to pay them those tens of thousands of dollars, you are able to build this into your workflow. You know, keep giving me that $29 a month, and you're able to integrate this into whatever your calling software is. So your calling software also has something like this as well. When a phone call is initiated, that can send out over software to this endpoint, which tells this piece of software to start recording. So then you can, when that phone call hangs up, then that phone calling software will call out to this route, stop recording, and then your AI prompt here for that employee will be, tell me how well this employee was doing with sales, hitting this key important technique, this key important fact. Were they polite? Were they helpful? Did the customer feel that they got everything they needed? And you can boil all of that down to just one score, like 1 star to 5 stars. The number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, have that returned, and have that ask here sent out to a Google Doc or some Excel, which, let's see if this is working okay. Conversation, I just called one of these, which you can call all of these to test in the browser when you have the program open, and then you will get your answer here, which you could port into wherever you need it to be. And you can also extract that transcript if you want a copy of that as well. So this ask here is asking the AI what it thinks of that conversation. You could also have this reviewing you. You can, a bit like playing a game of chess. Now they have on chess.com a really good game review where the AI can show you things that you missed step by step. So this is a great tool of giving it a lot of insights that you wouldn't even know that you needed. I know when we go to ChatGPT, we're just always giving it things that we think we need the insights for, or know we need the insights for, but we don't get the unknown unknowns from the AI. But that could be a situation here if you wanted to review something you're new at. Are you technical and you want to do sales, or are you sales and you want to be more technical? Then it can review your areas you need to improve with that phone call from those call logs. So then when that's done, you're going to want to just still talking about the API, calling this, connecting this. Transcript is cleared, so then this would be ready to connect back to your phone calling software when a new call is started, new transcript, and sounds pretty technical. If you don't know software, building this middleware piece of software, it's going to be a local server running on your local machine or local network. But if it's worth it to you, connecting this up, having that context there might be even better than a workflow, agentic chain of thought workflow, because what's really key, and I really believe this, I'm not just trying to sell this to make myself money. I really feel that fine-tuning models is really bad, and doing agentic workflows is much better, but that is a bit of a struggle, and those people running those AI agencies are really in demand. So for the small who can't hire them, small businesses, and even the large businesses, I think only if you're large enough to be able to contact OpenAI, which they have a service where they will help your giant business if you give them enough money. If you're that big of a fish, you can contact OpenAI themselves, and they will work with you, I guess, implementing their chain of thought models. But really, it's about people. And you can connect a workflow and improve a workflow, as I've done here. Hopefully you'll like this. Salesforce, if you use Salesforce, getting data extracted and moved over there. I don't have chain of thought reasoning, which is more intelligent, but really the superpower is really when the human and the AI can really enhance each other. You're giving the AI the most information you could possibly give it, not only from your conversation and the screenshot, but also from the prompt. And experimenting with the prompt, and you can get really strict with the prompt that you want a very specific, very small number of words in the answer. Or you can, ask another AI, ask ChatGPT how you should prompt something like this. So a lot of experiments for that 7-day trial, 1 email and 1 machine per trial. So if you want to have as many machines and email addresses as you can do on the 7-day trial. But hopefully this tool will be invaluable to you and you'll be happy with it. And it will remain $29 unless I find a way to really add a tremendous amount of value and I don't know what the future holds, but at the moment it's pretty good. I'm going to add some more of the other CRMs later if there's some demand for it, and tell me what else you think you might want in here under my website, winsystem.dev. If you want to go to here to contact for any feedback, any features, any other support for the product too. It is new, so if you run into any problems, I'm happy to refund if you haven't been using it for 29 days and you paid for a month, but $29 flat fee. You don't have to deal with any salespeople for this software, which there is other software out there like this. I haven't used it, but I think I've got everything you need in here, and I think it has a lot going for it. But if there's any problems or any additional features, I'm happy to hear from you. And what else I could talk about, I guess, would be the kind of trepidation about, first we were typing into the AI. That, of course, is an explosively good use of AI for the situation where we were going from GPT-1, 2, and 3, and then 3.5. And now there are situations where you have the AI as an operating system. The AI is able to control your files. The AI is able to control the browser. And I am an extremely online individual, but having the AI control my browser, that's too much for me. I don't know. What does it even want to do in the browser? And I understand you might feel like that with this monitoring your conversation. You say, what? It monitors the conversation. It takes a screenshot. What is it doing to the screen? What is it doing? How is it hearing my conversation? And then it's going to do what? It's going to really, it's not that much. If you've uploaded an image into ChatGPT, which 51% of you at the time of me recording this use ChatGPT, that's all this is. And then recording the conversation, Alexa and Siri, if you say Alexa or Hey Siri, how is it not always already listening to your words? I don't know that it is or not, but I've heard the thing about whether you talk about cat food and you don't own a cat, and your smartphone will start showing you cat food advertisements. I think they're already listening. And Grok, these are some people that developed some special chips, and they're running that some open source models to get some fast inference. I don't even know that they do any training or what they're doing with your data, but I think your biggest fear at a business, which is, I'm sure, should definitely, OPSEC, security, where's my data going? I have to open up the data and, like I said, give the model all this context. Who's using that? Whose hands is it getting into? Well, I don't know who you are. I don't know who your competitors are. I'm a meager freelance developer with Stripe integration that you will automatically pay a $29 fee to, and Stripe will get a piece. So I'm not interested in your data. I mean, this runs locally. This is not a cloud thing. This is only connected between you because this is a local program that you are downloading here at the bottom of the screen for Windows. I don't have a version for Mac, but because you are downloading this and running it locally, and then I'm sure there are ways for you to check inside Windows whether this is sending information off to anywhere other than Grok, which it is not. So that's where that's going. And so really no different than talking to Alexa or Siri or Google, which we've had for 20 years. You know, these AI companies are, including Grok and the other major 5 or 6, really what they're interested in is possibly using your data to train new models with, and keeping that training data safe is something that they take very seriously. There have been some rare instances of some data getting out, but what are the odds your competitor, I think that would probably be your biggest fear, that your competitor gets your leads or gets your clients' lists. You know, are people hacking into Salesforce? Salesforce has all of this data. We find out that our social security cards and our what is it called, KYC data gets leaked all the time, and this data, you know, doesn't really, seem like that's really much of a risk, though I understand privacy would be a concern because we are going, or you would be going here if you use this from a situation where you're typing everything that you choose to type in. But in this situation, you might have the screenshot here. You might be taking a screenshot of something, of some information. Of course, you wouldn't want social security numbers on the screen. You wouldn't want anything if you're in healthcare at all. I'm sure you cannot have conversations and screenshots going out to any third parties by law, and a few other instances. But other than that, we're not, and this is not in a situation, you know, what other industry or thing could I name? If you have a security clearance, classified information, I don't have to tell you the few instances. It's already things that you shouldn't be putting into Google or ChatGPT about. The business, the owners have already told you. Yeah, I don't know what else to add on that topic, and I think I've covered it. Pretty simple. When you go into the website here, which is in the description, you do get started. If you're not logged in, you log in. When you do create an account, it will send you an email. It's not an email activation required. You will get this license key while you're on the free trial, and the first time you download and install the EXE, like it says with all EXEs on Windows, this is an unverified publisher. Are you sure you want to download? And then after you download it, let me get back over here. You will both download the 150 megabyte model, which transcribes audio into text. That's about not big at all, 150 megabytes. Then you'll copy and paste your license key. It will be a free trial for 7 days. And then it will show your device here too. After you enter this, you're going to paste that in. There will be a screen there you can't bypass until you enter your license key. And then your license key is good for that 7 days. If you want to buy, then you will, one of these buttons, you can upgrade. $29 a month, or the 10 months $290, but you get 12, so an extra 2 months for a annual subscription. And then when you're ready to move your, let me get this out of the way, or if you want to move whatever device you have paired that install to, if you want to put your install on another machine, you just unpair it, or you get a new machine, unpair here. In other words, you log in, then you unpair that, copy and paste to a new machine, and simple as that. Seems like a lot. I actually did have to build quite a bit of features into this when really it's very simple at its core. Recording you, the person you're talking to, and then you ask it. So other thing I could walk through, you saw me click this earlier, and log in to Grok, GROQ, not GROK, which is another AI lab, and that's run by Elon Musk, who owns X, formerly of Twitter, which is very good, but you will get an API key. This brings you to the API key page. Might sound intimidating, but just something that you'll copy and paste in here and then save. And after you get your Salesforce client ID, if you have Salesforce, I won't walk you through where to find your client ID, but you can just ask one of the big AI models where to find it. It'll bring you right to it. And then you'll copy and paste that and put that into the CRM tab of settings. Then you'll save your client ID. Oh, there's all these private things. Where's my license key? There's your Grok API. There's your Salesforce CRM. What is all this stuff going in? Well, like I said, this is your local instance. This is not a cloud thing. This is not something I have any backdoor or anything into. It's not a situation where I'm able to see any of this stuff. And also, speaking about where to find this stuff, the situation is such, when I'm talking about this stuff, I mean your Grok API key. You're going to want to keep that safe. You have an employee you might have working with this, some guy kind of flaky, you don't trust, had to fire them. Are they going to be walking away with your API key? Well, no, because, you have the sensitive things, the things I named, the Salesforce CRM, the Grok API key, your license key. These are all going to be in this path here, directory deep inside Windows that you can put a password on. So you're the owner, you're the administrator of the business, and you own that machine. As long as this is, I don't know, it's probably not something you want to have a laptop that they could take home. I don't know if they'd be able to get into it in that, but if you're able to put this stuff, your app, probably all of your app data behind administrative password, and then you enter these once. There's no way through the app that you are able to reveal what these are. And then if you don't have the password to get into this directory deep inside your Windows machine, then you are not able to see what these are or take these with you. And this program is written in Rust, which is very secure, memory secure by default. So I think that covers it. I hope that covers every possible concern, but most of all shows off the feature and the takeaway, what I hope to impart is with these artificial neurons, artificial neural networks. They're big, they get better and better the more information they are trained on, but then in order for them to get the output you need, you already know that you want to give it the right input. People have literally made a career called prompt engineering out of it. So it's just another word for context. It's always context, context. And you remember how brittle computers used to be before AI. So context is the way that you win. Said that before. Fact I'm repeating is probably the fact means that, excuse me, I've covered everything. I feel like I really covered it all. And so students, employees, employers, owners, managers, people in training, try it for 7 days and enjoy that flat fee. And let me know what you think. So talk to you soon. Thank you.